What's up, witches? Welcome to the tower. We're going to do our chakra check-ins. Go ahead and get my sage set up here. I have made myself some oil today. I haven't done this. I used to do this a long time ago before I started. Don't need more than 2 or 3 drops. Hopefully I don't drop cards. That would suck. Man, maybe my hands are drier than I thought. It absorbed all that. Well, maybe 5 drops. Alright, y'all. So we're going to do a chakra update. Man, I didn't set my desk up or nothing. For those of you that are new here, yeah, I'm going to pull 7 cards, 1 for each of the chakras. We're going to shuffle up the shadows and the oracles. And yeah, you get 1 each of those. And then the chakra reading. Sorry, y'all. I should have made oil. I should have organized my desk. Maybe that would have been a more productive use of my time. I don't know. Alright. Get the shadows shuffled up for today's zodiac weekend. What shadows is everybody going to be dealing with the most this weekend? How's the retrogrades treating y'all? It's been crazy. People always talking about retrogrades ain't got nothing to do with nothing, but I find it pretty funny because, yeah, I keep saying, what do I keep saying about 2019? This is all coming back to 2019. And sure enough, boom, 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 boom. Similar, it's going to be from 2017 to 2019. We're about to enter a very similar cycle, right? Oracle cards for all our signs this weekend. What oracle card will help them with their shadow? These are the Earth Magic oracle cards here. The shadow cards are called the Dark Mirror, if you wanted to look those up. And today we're going to be doing the Light Seers deck, mainly because I just love the art on this one. I've got a new one coming, but they pushed it back another month to Kickstarter deck. Alright. Oh, maybe we're not using the Light Seers. Light Seers does not want to play today. You know what? I had a feeling she was calling me. This, like my mom got me a Rider-Waite deck when I was 13, and I read for a little bit with my friends, and we played around with my friends, and I used playing cards for a while because I was irresponsible and lost a bunch of my cards from my original deck. But this deck was the first deck I picked out for myself. And my aunt got it for me. And I was 19, believe it or not. Oddball, shout out if you're here. I was 19 years old. Put that in perspective, just turned 37. All right. Aries. They're big though. Alright, Aries, your shadow for this weekend is Queen of My World. Yes, you are the manifester of your own reality, but are you being a narcissist about it, right? I do see winds of activation, right? That is the shadow aspect, right? That is you debating on whether or not this is ego or intuition that has you queen of your world right now, right? Alright, in your crown, I see that you're working a lot with trying to understand the importance behind traditions when it comes to spirituality. That makes sense? I do see that you still see a lot of conflict going on around you. I see that you see this as the end of a cycle, though. It's like the final swords being put into place there, right? You see that coming. That's your third eye sees that coming. Your throat, how are you communicating? I feel like you're communicating passionately, but this is also a Prince energy, so be mindful that you don't allow people to fire you up and pop you off, especially people in your past. People from your past that know where your buttons are and like to push them and know exactly what to say to aggravate you will try to do that, so you got to be mindful of those things. But don't be afraid to speak what you're passionate about, for sure. Your heart chakra here is you're trying to hold on to the good aspects and the good lessons that you learned from these people in your life, these ones that you see the ends of the cycles coming with, right? You're putting that all into a very healthy perspective, or trying to anyway. Six of Cups is a very nostalgic card. It's a peaceful card. It's like thinking about childhood and thinking about past memories and putting them into a positive light as much as possible, and trying to, never punish yourself for loving people. Never punish yourself for loving people, and try to remember those good times, and try to remember the positive aspects of people that are passing out of your life, that are no longer part of your path, because they wouldn't have been part of your path for that long, and you wouldn't care if they weren't important, right? For your solar plexus, you do want to keep kind of cutting out the BS, right? Queen of Swords, you do want to keep keeping that higher perspective, right? You do want to keep listening to your gut, right? That's your solar plexus there. You still want to keep listening to your gut, right? There's a lot of beliefs where they say you have three minds. You have this mind, your heart, and your gut. They all work together. It's kind of like when you're working with all four elements. You want to put them all, to keep them all together and listen to them all together, right? For your sacral, I feel like you're doing a lot of balancing, right? Trying to balance out in the physical, right? I feel that mixed with the tradition there is just trying to balance out, the traditional beliefs around this as well, right? You are rooted in self-love. Look at that. In this deck, the deck is all about understanding love, what relationships need to be nurtured and things like that, but also knowing that it starts within you. You have to love yourself if you're going to be able to love other people, because if you don't love yourself, that shadow will always pop up, right? But the objective is don't be so in love with yourself that you forget other people around you, obviously, right? But the reason you are feeling so powerful right now, because there is winds of activation happening. Whew. By the way, this is the Goddess deck. For those that are interested. All right. Taurus. Taurus. We got Child I Was Meant to Be and Gaia Nurturing. The Child I Was Meant to Be, that card is all about who were you before the world got their hands on you and told you there was something wrong with you. What were your passions before people told you to be sensible? And you know what I'm saying? That's what the child I was meant to be. What was something you used to enjoy doing as a kid that people told you was silly, or you're too old for that now and you need to stop? I mean, it's simple things. I mean, look at how much like coloring has become a thing, right? Grown-up coloring books. Alright, Taurus, I see that you do understand that there is a major transformation happening, right? This is a goddess of abundance in Japan, right? She's also a food goddess, but this is about transformation. I feel like it's a lot of transformation, probably about your ideas around food and things of that nature too, new knowledge and things coming through with that for you this weekend, right? I do see that you need to move on from some things. There's definitely some things in your past that needs to be put in the past and left there, right? For your throat, I see you speaking very positively and generously with others, like trying to keep that positive, trying to find the word. Yeah, gratitude. Like trying to speak gratefully for what you do have in abundance, right? Maybe the thing that you do have in abundance is food. Be like, what? I might not have a lot of money, but I do have a lot of what I need. Or I do always have enough of what I need to survive, right? I got the 7 of Swords here over your heart. And I feel like you feel very betrayed by a lot of people, and that's heavy on your heart, right? In your solar plexus, you still got, you got the Prince of Pentacles, right? Very interesting energy to have both of these around your heart chakra, right? And they're not facing each other. When they're down here, they are facing each other, though. I feel like that's an important message for you to see it that way. Okay? Alright. So I do see that you are working on making sure that you do speak gratitude, give gratitude for the things that you do have in abundance, right? And you do use what you do have in abundance to the best of your ability to create as much as you can, right? I do see in your sacral, you're building up a lot of strength right now, and this is speaking your strength on these things, speaking your strength on things that genuinely make, bring you pleasure and make you happy, and speaking on things that you do find socially acceptable and socially unacceptable, right? Things like that around the sacral energy as well. That's beautiful energy to be in. Though I do say be careful when speaking these truths. You've got the Princess of Swords here. Be mindful that you're not too over opinionated or too hasty to butt into a conversation. Make sure that make sure that you're listening as much as you're speaking. Because that is I am. All right. Gemini. Gemini, we got, is this me? Is this you? Is what has been happening around you truly you? And we got fire and passion here. Is it you? I think the question should be, how passionate are you about it? Is it truly what you're passionate about? Let's see. I'm just going to say this is pretty intriguing to me. You have the Princess of Cups on your crown, and you have the Queen of Cups on your root. Look how she's got her hand on her mouth in this deck, right? She's got her hand on her mouth and she's holding the cup down, and the top card, she's sipping out of the cup, and the Princess. I think that's just fascinating to me. Alright, so understanding. I understand, or you understanding, I think you're gaining understanding that you need to find joy from sipping from your own cup, right? For some reason, that brings you a lot of anxiety, right? Be mindful that when you speak about your burdens, you speak about how much you have built, not how much stress that what you have built causes you, right? That's what I always get with this card, because you see how it's woven. It's about that inner beam and all that tension on it, because that's the final beam, but it's that tension that holds everything together, right? So just be mindful when you're speaking about your burdens that you speak about them in a way of, oh, I know, but I'm so glad I built all this, right? For your heart, I see that you're getting over spilt cups, right? You're getting over, that's the whole thing. And even in this sense, I don't even think that you're getting over spilt cups. I think you're getting over other people spilling your cup, right? You're ready to fill it and drink your own cup, right? For your solar plexus, I do see that you see that there is a major beginning, right? So I do want new beginnings. I do want a new path. I love that. That is beautiful. Sacral, I see that you feel, you're getting ready. You feel something's getting ready to come in. You do feel that something's getting ready to come in. I do say with this Queen of Cups, keep nurturing that divine love, inner energy there, right? But mind your words. Be careful. Don't speak too soon on anything. All right? Are you truly passionate about this? Is it you? Is it you? Do you really, really love it? Do you really, really love it? Do you really, really love it? Keep watching for those signs. They're going to be coming in. Sorry. Cancer. Right? Yes. Cancer. Alright, Cancer, we've got naked before the stars, feeling very vulnerable. But you feel vulnerable because you are shape-shifting. Baby, I was just sitting here going, I feel like there's a truck outside or something in my driveway.
Yeah, I'm trying to find this.
Here's these.
Thank you.
You're welcome, baby.
Where's the blue pole?
I don't know where the blue pole is. It should be in the thing by the door. Apologies, guys. Give us 1 second. Got it? Love you, baby. Alrighty. Reset. Woosah. We're on Cancer, right? Cancer is naked before the stars, going through some shape shifting. I did get a sense when I saw that, though. It's kind of like when you initially come out of a cocoon, thinking of all the cicadas and things like that, how vulnerable you are when you first come out of that shell. Like, you know, dragonflies and beetles and things like that, and butterflies. They're very vulnerable when they first come out, and their wings are still wet and nothing's expanded yet, and it's a very vulnerable time. But you are shape shifting right now. I do see that you understand the need to find this balance, right? Balance between work and play, physical and the spiritual, right? You also have some things that you see that you need to move on from. I do see that you're speaking very lovingly to those around you. I get the sense with you in this card being in this position, it's the old saying of what, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. And I feel like you are really practicing that in a very heartfelt way. I do see that in your heart center here, you see that what has been going on lately is a rite of passage, and you have come to a main acceptance of that. I do worry that you may, in an attempt to show a lot of strength and how powerful your personality is, you might swing your swords a little bit sharp. So just be mindful of that this weekend when you're speaking, that you're not being too sharp, okay? For your sacral, I see that you're recovering. Right now in this deck, all 4 swords are above her. There's not anything that she doesn't understand laying beneath her. There's no truth need to be found, right? She understands that she needs rest and recovery in this area, right? Rest and recovery and a reset of understanding what you actually need, right? These cards are gender biased. It's a goddess deck, okay? Just to put that out there. But I see that you're rooted in the 5 of Swords reversed, right? The Five of Swords upright is finally accepting the end of a battle. And maybe that's what you really need, some more recuperation time, whatever this battle was, right? There was some kind of battle and it's not quite over, and not to you, right? I think that's the final bit of acceptance that you need here. I feel like this is probably an internal battle and things of that nature, because you are changing and there's things you have learned about yourself, right? And I think there's some things that you need to finish accepting about yourself. And then whatever battles you've been going through, there needs to be an acceptance. Not that the war is over, but whatever that particular battle was needs to be released and let go of it. You need to ground it and release it to the earth to turn it into something useful for something else, right? Leo. Leo, you got alone in the world. Alone in the world. Wolf following instincts. All right, Leo. Give me 1 second. If I don't do this right now, I'm going to forget. Now you guys know why I do most of my stuff at 5 o'clock in the morning. Alright. Finish up Leo, 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 Leo. Leo, I see that you have an understanding of what it takes to build stability, right? I see that you do have an understanding of doing that. But I see... you have an understanding of what it takes to build stability. But you see that what is happening around you is not a generous give and take, which is what it takes to build the stability, right? You understand that, but you're not seeing it for some reason, right? Your throat, I got the Queen of Passion here. Speaking passionately about things that matter to you, right? I feel like people are expecting more understanding from you than you're getting, right? Your heart center. Right, so this is a goddess of luck. So I do feel like you do, in your heart, you feel like this is divine timing, divine luck, divine leading you on a path, right? Your eyes are being opened for purpose, right? Because I get that, because right after that, because you do see what's getting ready to come in for you. I do see that what you realize is what coming in is, it feels like it's going to cause a lot of conflicts, right? Right? It's funny how evenly these are from the heart center, right? Seeing the imbalance, knowing that in order to fix the imbalance, there's going to have to be a conflict, right? I see that. I see that. You understand that there's going to have to be a conflict in order to resolve these issues. But people are drawing healthy boundaries. If drawing a healthy boundary causes... those who are receiving more than they're giving to backlash, and you understand that completely, right? And you understand that completely because you're rooted in the Nine of Cups, right? Nine of Cups, what? I know that I love me and I am able to fill my own cup. I am fine with that, right? My heart, I trust my heart is leading me on the right path right now, and I understand what it does take to stabilize connections, and it ain't this. Alright, I got alone in the world here. Right? If you feel alone in the world, what does Gaia have to say about that? Keep following your instincts, right? keep listening to your heart. It's got you. Keep listening to, like I said, the three brains. Crown, the heart, and the sacral. All right. Leo, Virgo. Virgo. Ooh, temple of my body. Are you taking care of your body, Virgo? Dance and celebration. Gotta release those good endorphins. Exercising makes you happy. What is it? Legally Blonde. But she's an exercise instructor. Exercise releases endorphins. Endorphins make you happy. Happy people just don't kill their husbands. That was a very special lesson just for you, Virgo. Apologize. Virgo, I understand that you see that there is new beginnings here, right? You understand there's new beginnings happening. What you see is that you need to keep yourself very focused right now and in control of your thoughts and words there, right? In control of your air aspects, right? Wherever your air aspects are in your charts, you need to be in control of them. Right, for your throat, I see that you're speaking with an attitude of gratitude. That is beautiful. Your heart center is very centered into that, but if you can't say nothing nice, don't say anything at all. Loving energy, right? Coming from a loving place. Be like, I could say something mean, but I just got Matchbox 20. I could say so much, but I don't go there because I don't want to, right? And sometimes that's the easiest way to keep the peace, especially when you see that there's new transitionings getting ready to happen. Apologies. All right. Do you see the 10 of Pentacles here on your solar plexus, right? A lot of strength in building foundations and continuing to, not building foundations, building on foundations, right? Like, you already built the foundations, now you're continuing to build on top of them, right? Your sacral, very passionate princess of fire energy. Curious, still discovering things that you like. I do see you're rooted in the upright 5 of Swords, right? I see that you see these new beginnings and transformations. Like a battle has finally passed. Win or lose, the battle is over, and you are ready to start looking forward to moving on and cleaning up from whatever that battle was, right? And finish working on building on what you already started. Beautiful. Beautiful. I likes that. Virgo. Libra. Libra, I've got artificial heart. Somebody's been faking it till they make it a little too long. Time to really turn to your ancestors and turn to some shamanistic ancient healings there. Libra. And we'll say with the artificial heart too. The universe doesn't respond to who you pretend to be. It responds to who you truly are and how you truly feel inside. Take it all you want. You know, there are tricks where they say, oh, if you smile, you can trick your brain into being happy. That only works for so long. Those are supposed to get you through like a long work day, not a 10-year relationship, you know? Just saying. Just saying. sorry. I do see that you understand where you overindulge as well. You see that the Nine of Cups is an eternal thing. You speak about making movements, right? You speak about making movements. Your heart has got the Seven of Pentacles here. It's like you know that you've planted these seeds and you have nurtured them for a long time, and you're just waiting for them to finish coming into fruition, right? I see you do sit on your throne of what you are passionate about and hold steady to it, right? A lot of masculine energy down here at the bottom. Your sacral is very materialistic. The sacral is very materialistic, and that is why your root feels like you are rooted in oppression. These are Wallawak sisters, or Wawalak sisters. I can't pronounce it. This card, it's about these two sisters, and they end up being eaten by a snake. Right, they're twin sisters that get pregnant and have babies at the same time. They're eaten by a snake. I would look up this legend. This will give you some messages to what is rooted in your issues there. I'm not going to bust out the book and read that right now for you. I do see that a lot of this oppression comes from this sacral energy here. Either you or the person you're with and connecting with on those areas is very superficial, and that feels oppressive to you. And you're faking it like it doesn't bother you, but it does bother you very deeply if that's your root, right? So it's like all this beautiful energy up here, but then on the other side, so you just need to figure out how to break out of this oppressive energy. Seriously, you're going to be facing things like that this weekend. I mean, you can continue to fake it, or you can heal it. And what I love about this card is I love to do, where is it? I love to do this. Right? Nobody escapes it. Nobody escapes time. Nobody escapes time. I mean, if any of y'all ever followed Mel over at Golden Rays, that should have been your biggest lesson this year. Doesn't matter how connected and spiritual or anything else you are here in a 3D body, and you do not escape time within it. That is the lesson, y'all. The biggest lesson in this place is mortality. Who is that? Libra? Scorpio. Scorpio. Oh, if y'all don't know, Scorpio Spy's back. Go check her out for sure. I got all excited when I saw that she was back. I was like, that's crazy. We were just talking about you. Alright, Scorpio. Oh, we got fated to suffer. Feeling like you are on a doomed timeline. You need to do some grounding. Now in your crown, oh my God, where did that accent come from? In your crown chakra, I see you got temptation here, and this is the goddess of the tides, right? The ebb and flow, the pull of undercurrents, things that are tempting you, pulling you in other directions, and you understand where these pushes and pulls are coming from. I see you see a ship or something along those lines, getting ready to come in, a change getting ready to come. You're waiting for it. You speak about this hope and renewal, right? You speak about it. You're trying to speak it, help speak it into existence. Your heart chakra, I got the Queen of Swords here, right? This is a very, I feel like your heart is in a logical standpoint right now, right? It's got this higher perspective that it probably hadn't had in a long time, or you're maybe just experiencing it for the first time. But where your heart center, like the brain part of it is finally kicked on, and it understands a lot more. It's conversed with the rest, everything's finally floated, connected, and it has this higher perspective on everything that's going on, right? You have the Queen of Pentacles here, right? I feel like you do feel like, you know, I get the, what is it, dress for the job you want, right? I feel like you do care a lot about your appearance, and that you're working hard to take care of your appearance, and I don't see anything wrong with that, right? In your sacral, I feel like that you're making fair judgments and assessments on what you're doing. You're not being prude or anything else like that. Athena is a goddess of knowledge, right? I believe knowledge and battle strategy and wisdom. Right, wisdom and battle strategy. You're putting fair, you have fair judgment, right? You're using your judgment well when it comes to your sacral energies, right? I see that you're grounded in the Prince of Cups, though, and this could be why this temptation keeps coming in, right? Whatever. You got fair judgment here, but when it comes to love, it's still a little bit of naivety energy, right? You're still rooted in that really romantic type of unrealistic expectation, right, of love. I didn't say it, the cards did. All right, and that's what comes into the fated to suffer, right? Ooh. This ain't a fairy tale. This ain't a fairy tale. Prince Charming ain't coming in to save you, right? The Wicked Witch isn't out to poison you. Actually, within a single person, this is the two. This is the crone, your crone self, versus your maiden self right now. That is what makes you feel like you are fated to suffer. It's the inability of escaping time as well. This seems to be a strong message that's coming out, right? The inability to escape time. Everybody wants to remain young and youthful forever, right? At what cost? At what cost? Right? Really need to do some deep grounding. Really getting into nature, really grounding down, really seeing nature truly for what it is. Do meditations on watching things, like look at a tree and focus on a tree. Envision seeing its roots going into the ground, and while you envision seeing its roots going into the ground, envision your roots going into the ground. And then envision how it pulls all those nutrients up and pushes it through all its leaves, right? Connect to those energies. Connect to it. Connect to how natural it is. All right. Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Ooh. Anger and chains. Well, anger will leave your mind foggy for sure. For sure. Feeling trapped, feeling in chains. I like how it has a lion in there. It just makes me think of Leo energy as well. I don't know if that means anything to you. I got a Leo rising and a Sag moon. All these readings are always also Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, y'all. I'm a firm believer of checking your chart. Alright, last one. Beautiful, these things. Not beautiful. Look how they shuffle. How old they are. weird energy here, Sag. I get that you understand. You understand that you can be materialistic and controlling, right? I do see that you were seizing into your own powers, right? With Isis here. Look up Isis's stories as well. Seizing into your own magic with Isis here, really gaining in control. But for some reason, for your throat, like it's like you understand that and you see your own magic, but you're speaking about how oppressed you are by this energy. Maybe this isn't you. Maybe this is the person around you. You understand that they're controlling and materialistic and superficial. And you see your own magic within yourself. And I feel like you feel like your own magic is oppressed. Your heart is the 7 of Wands reversed. It's almost like that's a toxic defensive energy around your heart there, right? You do? You do engage in this? Really? Just because you're the Queen of Wands doesn't mean you need to live up to it. Alright, so you are either you're the one that's engaging in this third party situation, or the person you're with, you're aware, is engaging in a outer third. One of you is stepping out. You're either stepping out, or if you haven't yet, it's on the mind of somebody here. It's either on the mind of this superficial jerk, or it's on your mind. And the only reason I lean a lot towards yours is like you see this power, and you're speaking about how oppressed you are by this energy. And I think you're speaking about how oppressed you are, your energy. Yet your sacral is on fire, right? You're rooted in the 10 of Cups, though, right? Maybe you feel you need this to feel the 10 of Cups, right? Maybe this person's not very passionate, but they provide everything else. I don't know, with this anger and chains, though, I feel like you're angry about being trapped by this person. Dude, you're never gonna be able. You gotta figure out what you want. You really gotta figure out what you want, dude. On my earbuds right now, you know what's playing? I won't stand on a bridge that's burning. And that's about someone else who's in a relationship trying to tempt you to come back to them while their relationship's ending, and they're trying to call you back in. So that's either you're doing this to another person or somebody's doing this to you. There's this energy of, yeah, one person's in a dying relationship, but they haven't ended it yet, and they're calling the other person in, and the other person is telling them, I'm not going to stand on a bridge that's burning. Nah, I ain't getting wrapped up in your breakups, right? Wow. Wait. This deck is wait. Wait till you can see what's going on. There's things that there's things that you can't see yet. The forest, you can't see the trees because it's all full of fog. So you're never going to see the path. You got to calm down. You got to breathe. You got to recenter, Sag. You got to recenter. Alright. This is as much as I can give you right now. Aquarius. Triumph of lies. New beginnings. You know what just came on? No diggity. Alright, Aquarius, what do we got going on? Yes, the music helps me focus. That's that whole ADD thing, right? So, Aquarius, what do we got here? You got Triumph of Lies. Let's get this scene from Interview with the Vampire. It's the father of lies. He's the father of lies. Let's see if that's you or someone you're dealing with here, right? You do got dawn and new beginnings coming, though. So, let's just see. I do see that you've got the understanding that your burdens and the tension on your life are also what holds the whole wall together, right? Excuse me. We have another Tides goddess here. I do see with her message here, it's not about undertows and poles. It is, as the tides roll in and roll out, they bring in and take away things. I went shell collecting the other day with my daughter, right? And it's a matter of every time you go out there and check the tides, it's going to be a different things that you find, right? The tide can just as easily bring in treasure as it can take it away. It can create sandbars and channels. If you guys ever looked up pirates in the in our area, actually, and things like that, and how the tides change the channels and things like that, and things can be taken away just as easily as they're brought in, right? It's all about balance, the ebb and flow. I do see that you... This is my drama queen card, right? And this is over your throat. You're communicating a lot of drama mama stuff, right? Oh, right. None of the swords are actually hitting you, right? It's your choice to wallow around in that energy, right? And I don't see how it's helpful to speak about it, right? Well, you're just going to continue to keep speaking about how much these people bother you. Look at that part. It's horrible, right? That's the energy I'm getting. You're just burping it out all over the place. Don't do that. Don't do that. Alright. Your heart is placed in the Ace of Pentacles. Alright. Planting those seeds of intentions. Things of planting seeds of abundance, or trying to, or working on that. And that's where your heart is centered at. I do see that in your solar plexus, there is a battle that you're trying to recover from there. Right? So you are working on, like, you're still talking about it, like, you're still talking about the battles and everything else, but you do realize that the battles are over, right? You're coming into that acceptance, for sure. For your sacral, I see the 10 of Cups. That is a beautiful energy, stable, you know, everybody's happy in the sacral area in your relationships right now. That is not a worry that you should have. And you're rooted in the 10 of Pentacles, right? You're rooted in what I've already built some solid foundations, and I will continue to build on them. That's beautiful, right? 10, 10. 10, 10, 10. 10, 10, 10. Good job, Aqua. Alright, you definitely just be mindful that you're being as honest and genuine as you can, and be careful because there might be someone lying around you. That's a shadow that you're dealing with, right? Triumph of Lies. Maybe this is even Triumph of Lies to yourself, right? Because a lot of the energy was really good, and except for that, what you're speaking about, right? There's a time of new beginnings. All those 10s, it is a time of new beginnings, right? The dawn is right around the corner, right? Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. Pisces. Sacrifice. Invocation. Yes, yes, yes. What will you sacrifice to invoke what you want? Also, in invocating, I never ask the gods to do it for me. I always ask for the strength to do it myself. Hence the reason the sacrifice is important. Alright, Pisces, I see that you do have an understanding of the universe's way of give and take, the ebb and flow of, you know, the energies of what? For every up there is a down, for every down there is an up. An object in motion will stay in motion type deal, right? The wheel goes round and round, you know? As I giveth, I can take it away. I think you have a clear understanding of that. But I do see that you are focusing on more on what's been taken away, right? And you're speaking about lost victories, right? Your heart is centered on wanting to build this happy home life, right? Well, no, actually, this isn't even happy home life. Your heart is centered on wanting to build some sort of foundation for yourself, right? Doesn't have to necessarily be a home. This could be a business as well. Your heart is centered on wanting to build this thing that would involve a team or the family to work together, things of that nature, right? Your solar plexus, I feel like you're probably still dealing with a lot of anxiety, and it's because you're looking at failures. You're speaking about lost victories. You know, your heart center is solid on what it wants, but your solar plexus, it's so much anxiety because you keep focusing on these areas. There's so much anxiety, right? I do see in your sacral that you are trying to balance out, right? You're trying to balance out what brings you pleasure and what becomes burdensome is the energy that I'm getting on that with the sacral, right? Between what brings you pleasure and then what feels like an obligation, right? I do see that you are rooted in looking towards the future. I feel like the root that what you're rooted in right now is the energy of when will it come in? I see it. I get that. Right, I know I'm having a hard time talking about it, and I know I suffer from anxiety, but you know, nobody's perfect, right? Everybody has issues. Trust me. You know, your heart center is solid. You do realize that you got that balance. That ship can't come in, right? That it is coming in. And here's the thing, though. I get a strong sense that you've been working on invoking something, and you're mad that it didn't come in but what did you sacrifice for it? What did you give up for it? What were you willing to let go of for it? Were you willing to let go of an addiction? Were you willing to make a promise of what? I will walk a quarter mile every day if you help me work on this. But I'll do something uncomfortable, some sort of sacrifice, some sort of duty if you work with me, right? Believe it or not, that's how most magic works, right? There's always a price to pay. And here's the thing, and here's the most important thing. When it comes to invoking any magic, you need to pick your sacrifice. Because if you don't, you leave it open to the universe to pick it for you. Leave it up to the universe to pick it for you is what leaves you like this. Be very careful what you wish for, y'all. Alright? I would still keep invoking those energies, right? Still practice the ceremony. Still, maybe that's it too. Maybe that's it too. Maybe the universe is looking at you going, oh, you're not asking. You're not putting any energy in. You're not building your grids. You're not focusing your chakras. You're not working in these areas, right? It's like you sitting here saying you believe in magic and the universe and divine connections and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, but you're not practicing what you preach, right? You just sacrifice some more of your time and towards devotion. All right. I believe that's all the messages that I have for everybody today. Thank you for riding along. Sorry about the interruptions and the randomness of it, but that's just how I roll, y'all. Blessed be all those who walk these weird and winding paths with me. I hope all the energy and messages that you need were channeled to you today. As always, buttons, bells, all that good jazz. And yeah, I'll be back as soon as I can. As always, I promise I'll be back as soon as I can. I love y'all.